Hello! So today we're going to be testing out the NYX. Did you see how that came in? That was not smooth, was it? I wanted it to be like la la, but instead it was just like, and that was it. Anyway, this is the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer and I have it in the shade white. I always do that every single time. I forget that I have no way to focus on my camera, so pointless. Brought out a range of 6 different kind of mixes so that you can customize foundations so that they suit you more, which isn't that what we all want? Because I'm sure that every single person that's ever bought foundation has had that struggle to pick out their right shade, and it's not just about the shade, it's about the tone of the foundation as well. NYX has brought out 6 different shades and tones, shades and tones. They brought out the white one, which is meant to bring the shade of your foundation down a few notches depending on how much you put in. We're going to be testing this one out shortly. It'll just be like a whole discovery that we'll experience together because I don't know how many drops I have to put in it, so I'm just going to wing it because I don't believe in reading instructions. But anyway, so they've got the white one, they've got an opal one, they've got a luminous one, they've got a deep one which make the foundation more of a deeper tone, believe it or not. They've got an olive one, which I know a lot of people with olive skin tones do find it difficult to find a foundation that will match them. They've got a warmth one as well, which again, I think that's going to make the foundation a bit more kind of yellowy toned. You do find that a lot of drugstore foundations tend to lean quite pink. Max Factor, Maybelline, looking at you, and L'Oreal as well. All of them tend to lean quite pink. But I do believe that this is like a genius concoction if it really does work. So I'm going to be doing a first impression on this today so that we can have a look, see, does it work? Does it bring down the shade of the foundation? And then I'm going to be mixing this in with my favourite foundation of the moment, and I'm going to be wearing that concoction for the next kind of few days, and I'm going to see if it affects the kind of consistency or the wear time or the look of the foundation, because that's something that I am curious about. I want to see if it does actually work to take down the shade of the foundation, but also in the process, does it mess with my foundation? Does it make it not wear as well and all the rest? Alex is crying downstairs. This was £7.50 from Boots, but you can buy it from Selfridges, like, and other places. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's quite readily available, I think, all over the world now. And am I going to be able to get this out? It just says, blend our Pro Foundation mixers with any foundation to conveniently customize and adjust the shade and tone. That's all it says on the side. So I'm just going to open it. Okay, why is it not coming out? Come on out. Oh, there we go, got it, right. Okay, so it just comes in a squeezy tube, very squeezy tubey like, and I'm going to just go ahead and apply the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation to one side of my face. This foundation, I would say, is slightly too warm and kind of yellowy toned for me, and maybe a shade or two too dark. I can get away with it, and I have been wearing it. Just kind of put bronzer on. I put bronzer on my neck to kind of blend it all in, and then I just hope for the best and hope that no one notices. It's not like super noticeably like the wrong shade, it still is the wrong shade. It's on one side of my face, and then on the other side of my face I'm going to put this mixed with a couple of drops of the white shade thing, and then we're going to see if there is a difference, and I may add more than 2 drops. We'll just see how we go. We'll give it a little mix, and we'll be like scientists today. In an effort to be like super like scientific about the whole thing, I've got 2 beauty blenders here so that we're not going to be in any way mixing any of the 2 specimens together. Look, you can see as I'm applying just the foundation, it is kind of quite warm toned, a bit too dark for me. Still loving my Real Techniques diamond sponge, but I'm not using it today because I only have one of those, and I wanted to make sure I was using like a the same tool, even though this one's counterfeit, this one's real, but still they're effectively like the same thing anyway. Applied the foundation just to this side of my face. How obvious it'll be, but this is just a little bit too dark for me, so this is where we become scientists, and I'm so excited about this situation. So I should have cleaned this, shouldn't I? I didn't clean it. I mean, I knew we were going to be doing this today, and I didn't even bother to clean it, but it's fine. Pretend that I've cleaned it, okay? Okay. So I've got like my little mixer type situation, and I'm going to, I mean, what do we do first? I don't know. I'm so excited. Also, I'm not very prepared because I'm going to need like a mixing tool here. What could be my mixing tool? What could I use to mix? So I'm going to use this Urban Decay brush to mix because the boys managed to get hold of this. Its days as being a makeup brush are kind of over, really. Excuse this. I only used it yesterday, so it's not like this is like a build up of stuff. I do clean it from time to time, maybe once every 2 weeks. Squeezing, I don't know how much. Like, this is it. The scientist in me is saying, how much do I put in? I don't know, because I don't know. I've never really been into science really before. Okay, let's see. This is like the big moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, so it looks kind of white. Obviously, yeah, it looks white. Let's have a little swatch on my hand, right? So I'll just put a little bit there. So there we go. Like, I wasn't sure if it was going to be like, you know, like MAC Strobe Cream or the Lumi Magique primer. Oh, wow. So it is. I mean, it is white. It's, I wasn't sure if it's going to have any kind of, you know, luminosity to it or anything. It is just, I mean, it is kind of, it has that radiance to it. But wow, look at that. It'll be interesting to see if this affects the kind of consistency of the foundation. I can see just from that swatch on my hand that a little bit goes a long way. So I think kind of with that in mind, I mean, how many drops did I do here? Did I do 2? I might just do another one. Or should I make, no, I'll do another one. Why not? So this is, wait a minute. How can I say drops? Because I'm squeezing, and surely, how do you measure a squeeze? Because everyone's squeeze is going to be different. Like, my squeeze might go on for like a second longer than someone else's squeeze. How do we be scientific with this? I don't see how we're scientific. It should come in a dropper, really, shouldn't it? Otherwise, how are you going to know you're getting the same amount each time? NYX, hello? Hello, is that NYX? NYX, I believe that we need to be a bit more scientific about the whole mixing situation. I have no idea how I am going to be able to manage the consistency of how much of the drops I'm putting in. I don't know. How do I measure my squeeze? I'm going to use my little brush here, give it a little mix. Have you ever seen anything that just looks more scientific ever in your whole life? So I'm mixing it up, mix, mix, mix. Can you see? It looks like the foundation before, but a bit lighter. So are you in agreement that we're probably okay to go ahead and start to maybe put this on my face? Should we do it? In there. Oh, hello. Okay, right. So which beauty blender? I used the pink one for this side. So I'm going to use the, yeah, I did. Yeah, I used the pink one. So I'm going to use black for this side. Okay, so let's just go for it. I mean, so far, I mean, I suppose it does look a bit lighter, but it's kind of difficult to say, isn't it? Really. Going with the beauty blender. I mean, it's still looking quite dark, really. It's going on with my beauty blender. It feels like there's something in there. What? My beauty blender felt a bit funny, like there was something in there. Okay, so, I mean, I must say, like, actually, so far, I'm not noticing that it's, like, I thought it'd be, like, really a lot lighter, because I put more in than I thought I might need, but, oh, actually, I suppose you can see, I don't know. The foundation on the other half of my face has been on there for about 5 minutes now because I had to go off and... Can you hear the boys downstairs? I had to go off and go to the toilet is what I did. I went to the toilet. I had time to set on the other side of my face, so maybe once it's kind of set, it might magically go a lot lighter, I don't know. But so far, I'm not really noticing any difference whatsoever. Are you? Like, is it just me? Noticing any difference whatsoever? Are you noticing anything? Like, I don't know, maybe you can see more than I can see right now. I just can't seem to see any difference whatsoever. Okay, so I've just been kind of staring at myself like this for the last kind of 5 minutes, and I honestly can't see any difference whatsoever in each side. I mean, they're both looking quite warm toned, and I don't think that this side is particularly like any lighter than the other side. And also, can you see, because I didn't blend it down my neck like here, there's a, like, you can see that kind of demarcation line, but it's kind of the same on the other side. So at this point, I'm really not convinced that it's actually done anything whatsoever, unless I just didn't mix enough of it in. I just don't know. But actually, I can see a difference. The only difference I can see is that my pores, like here in this area, on the side that I used the white mixer, my pores look more kind of prominent. That's like the only difference I can see. My pores, or is it just the angle? No, definitely. My skin looks more matte on this side, but on the side that I've used the mixer, my pores definitely look more prominent. Definitely. So, yeah, I mean, I can't see any difference whatsoever. I can't see any difference. I thought it was going to be quite obvious. Like, I thought I'd have like one side of my face looking a lot lighter than the other side of my face. Is that asking too much? Was I just completely unreasonable in my desires to have different shades on either side of my face? Like, really? So far, I'm not very impressed. This product has got a lot of really great reviews. A lot of people do claim that it works, it's effective at what it claims to do, but so far I'm not really seeing any difference whatsoever. And I would probably say, if I was gonna put it into percentages, I'd say probably like, I don't know, 75-80% foundation, and then 20 to 25% of the mixer. I don't know, maybe I just didn't put enough in. It's definitely going to be one that I'm going to have to experiment a little bit with. I don't want to say like now I don't like it, because I do like to test out products as thoroughly as I can before bashing them. I'm going to just test this out over the next few days, and I'll come back and let you know what I think. I mean, I thought the question was going to be surrounding, it works, but does it affect the consistency of the foundation? But at this point, the jury is out as to whether this even works. I can't see anything. I can't see any difference. I'm very disappointed right now. You can see it. And it's just made my pores look very obvious, which I'm not liking. I am not liking that one bit. I feel like also maybe this side is slightly dewier, whereas this side is slightly more matte. And I did notice when I squeezed it out to my hand, like if you can see now, ghost hand. This is ghost hand, now known as ghost hand. There is like, it's got that kind of pearlescent like luminosity to it. If anything, it may make foundations a bit more dewy. So, I don't know. But anyway, I'll be back when I have given it a bit more of a go, and hopefully I'll be able to give you a conclusive review on what I think of it. Okay, bye. Okay, so today I'm trying it again. 50% of this concoction is the mixer. So, yeah, I feel like I've put far too much in, but we shall see. I've used this Infallible foundation today because it's really too dark for me. I'm thinking maybe I just didn't mix it properly the first time, because actually this foundation is looking a lot lighter now. This blob here is just the foundation on its own. This is the mixed foundation with the white mixer. So that's, I'm just showing, but this is the foundation on its own. So it definitely does look darker. So let's go. I'm just gonna paint this on. Look, that's my diamond sponge, bud. Do you want to paint this on Mummy's face? Not on the eyes though, because I've already done them. Andreas, would you like to do my 3-year-old does my makeup? Do you think? Would you like to do mummy makeup?
On your nose.
On my nose.
On your beard.
Andreas, I don't have a beard. Does mummy have a beard?
No.
Oh, good. I didn't think so. I was hoping that I hadn't grown one overnight. Oh, wow. Will you do my makeup for me, please, more often?
Yeah.
I think you're very good. Where did you train? Oh. Maybe a little bit on my forehead again. A bit more on forehead, but... Thank you. And a bit on my cheek. Cheek.
There.
Yeah. Okay, and a bit more on my other cheek there, please. Right, okay, that's great, Andreas. Thank you so much. Do you want to do a bit of sponging?
Yeah.
Go on, why not? Just bounce the sponge, bounce. Oh, good technique, good technique. You're very good at this. Have you been watching Mummy?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. Okay, thank you, Andreas. That's a great job. Thank you. So, will you do my makeup tomorrow, maybe, for me? Wonderful application that Andreas started. Oh, he's applying more. We're applying more. Okay. It definitely does look lighter, actually, this time, I would say. It doesn't look as yellow tone, but I did literally...
Mummy.
Oh, that's...
Mummy, my dad did put it in your eye.
No, don't worry. It missed my eye, just about.
I finished that.
Thank you. High five to you. Boom.
Mother flyer.
Boom. So it definitely does look lighter now. A little bit ghostly, I think I overdid it, but that was like a 50-50 mix. The first time I tried this, I just didn't put enough in, because now I'm definitely seeing that it is doing something. 50% mix of the white mixer in. Traditionally, this has looked quite orange on me. I don't really like this foundation. It's not my favourite. It's quite heavy looking and I don't really like it, but I just thought this was probably the darkest foundation I had. I thought this would be a really good one to try the mixer with. You saw that I mixed in kind of half and half of the mixer and the infallible foundation, which it, by the way, is usually quite orangey on me. It definitely is too dark. It's in the shade vanilla, but it's orangey in, and I was thinking, oh yeah, it's looking good. I mean, it definitely has brought the shade down a couple of notches. However, I was with my dad this morning and he was like, Amwyn, yeah, that foundation, it just doesn't look right. And I was like, why? What would you describe it as? He was like, I said, would you describe it as being like pale, like white? And he was like, I said, pasty? He was like, yes, pasty, that's it. Kind of pasty looking and unnatural looking. And I was like, okay, thanks, Dad. Thanks. Yeah, I've been out in public this morning and I've been looking pasty. Would agree with him. It definitely doesn't look quite right. The shade just doesn't look natural. He actually said as well, it's almost like it's taken all the redness out of my skin, which I agree with. It's like on camera, it's probably coming across as being quite like not so bad, but in person it definitely doesn't look natural. It doesn't look healthy. Probably a fine balance between taking the foundation down a shade but then not taking it down too much so then it looks pasty. I think it's gonna be like a fine line. So next time I use this tomorrow, I'm gonna do like maybe, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do 70-30 mix maybe, I don't know, but I'm sure I'll get there in the end. In terms of the foundation, so far it doesn't seem to have really messed with the consistency that much, although it does feel slightly heavier on my skin, although I'm not a huge fan of this foundation anyway. I only tested it with this because of all the foundations I have, I think it's probably the darkest one. So tomorrow and Friday, I'm going to use it with a foundation that I love, probably the number 7 Beautifully Matte, and see if it affects the consistency. Oh, here's Alex. Alex has got a fat lip. It's a long story. If you watch my Snapchat, you'll know the story, so I won't bore you with it now, but yeah, he's got a bit of a sore lip today. And I told him so many women would pay a lot of money to have that big lip. They would. They'd say, I want that lip.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would. But anyway, look at that face. Oh, he's been in the wars this morning. The next time you see me, I'll have my kind of conclusion. So, yeah, I will see you soon. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. So, I've been trying out the NYX mixer for about a week now, and I feel like I've got to the point where I can give my kind of conclusion and thoughts on it. So initially I mixed this with the LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation, which is one of my favourite foundations, but it does lean a little bit kind of orange and it is a shade too dark for me. I didn't put enough of the mixer in, so I didn't really notice much difference. You saw all of this at the beginning of the video. So then I figured that I was going to have to just go a bit crazy and add more. So then the next time I used it, I put like 50-50 mix in and it was way too much. It completely made my foundation look really off, as my dad would describe it, pasty. It just looked quite bizarre. So then I thought, right, okay, so the 50-50 mix, too much, Anwen. Too much. Take a step back from the mixer. So then the last 3 days I've been mixing it with the number 7 Beautifully Matte foundation, and I've been doing almost like, I'd say if I was putting it into like a percentage, it would be a 70-30 mix, and I found that that was probably the kind of best mix equation. Is it an equation? I don't know. The best mix. Like, I've become a scientist basically, and I found that when I did the 70-30 mix, it worked. I mean, I have no complaints. I've got it on today in the 70-30 mix with this foundation, and it definitely has taken the shade down so that it looks a lot more like my shade. Kind of gone back and forth with this as the week's gone on. When I put like too much of it in, I was like, this is just ridiculous. It's just making me look really unnatural. This product, yes, it works. It will definitely make your foundation lighter, but there is a very fine balance between not putting enough of it in so that it won't actually make a difference, or putting too much in and then it'll be like pasty face. You have to really like play about with it a bit to find out what kind of mix and how much you should actually mix in with your foundation. It's a product that you are going to have to like experiment with and become a scientist as well. But hey, who doesn't want to be a scientist? It's a fail science, but still I am now a scientist at my makeup table, like in my mind. One of the aspects that I was really trying to look at was, is this going to change the consistency of the foundation that I use it with? And the answer to that question is no. I mean, I know that when I first tried it with the LA Girl, I felt that it did make my pores slightly more visible, but I actually think that's probably just due to the fact that this maybe tuck down the shade a little bit. You know what it's like with a highlight, or if you apply like the Lumi Magique primer or strobe cream, they do bring more attention to your pores. You're not really going to get away with that. However, when I have been using it in my perfect mix with the number 7, I've not noticed that it's changed the consistency or changed the wear time of my foundation at all. I don't know if that's just because I've been using a primer underneath. I have to say that no, it's not affected the foundation whatsoever, which is a real bonus. I would recommend this. I definitely would recommend it. I can't give my opinion on the other 5 mixers because I don't know, I've only tried the lightening one. If you, like me, struggle to find a foundation shade that's light enough for you, or if you struggle with foundations that oxidize on you, I would definitely recommend you give this a go. It's £7.50, so it's not hugely expensive. For me, it has worked, and I won't be using it all the time, but I will definitely be kind of just chucking it in there if I feel a foundation is getting above its stations and it's oxidizing, or if I just have a foundation that I buy that's expensive and it's too dark, chucking this in there. Just be wary about the amount you put in, but don't be scared to put too much in, but then at the same time, don't be like squeezing as if it's like a vanilla cupcake and you're just squeezing the vanilla frosting on it. Don't do that, because then you'll be pasty. No one wants to be pasty. Yeah, that's it for my review. It's been an interesting product to try, and I do feel like it's a good one to have in your collections. Let me know if you tried this. I'd be really interested to know what your thoughts were. If you tried any of the other 5 shades, like the olive one, the luminous one, the opal one. If you tried any of the other shades, if you comment below, so that if anyone else is watching this and they're interested in those ones, they may get a bit of feedback on the other shades. And anyway, I will be back soon with more reviews, and thank you so much for watching this one. I'm sorry it's a bit long, because I know it's a bit long. I'm really sorry. Anyway, I'll be back soon. Bye.